Most people in this world are living on autopilot. They wake up, they follow the same routine, they complain about the same problems, and they go to sleep just to repeat it all over again. That's what 99% of people are doing, living without urgency, without vision, without breaking the patterns that keep them stuck. But if you want to change your life, you cannot follow the path that everyone else is walking. You have to do what the 99% are not doing. The truth is, success never comes from comfort. It never comes from doing what's easy. The majority of people would choose comfort over growth every single time, and that's why their life never changes. But the 1%, they're different. They wake up earlier, they stay focused when others are distracted, they keep moving forward when everyone else is making excuses. Doing what the 99% are not doing means being disciplined when it's inconvenient. It means staying silent and working in the dark when others are seeking attention and validation. It means betting on yourself when nobody else believes in you. It means walking away from distractions, wasting no time on gossip, negativity, or temporary pleasures. Understand this. The crowd is crowded for a reason. Everyone is chasing comfort. Everyone is chasing shortcuts. And everyone is chasing what's easy. But greatness is found in the place most people are too afraid to go. It's found in the sacrifices nobody wants to make. It's found in the hours when you feel like giving up, but you keep pushing because you know you were made for more. Do what the 99% are not doing. Read when others are scrolling. Practice when others are sleeping. Build when others are talking. Don't wait for approval. Don't follow trends. Don't live for likes. Live for progress. Live for discipline. Live for that version of yourself you know you're capable of becoming. And when you step into that mindset, something powerful happens. The world begins to notice. Opportunities start to open. Success begins to chase you because you've separated yourself from the masses. That's how leaders are built. That's how legends are made. So ask yourself today, are you going to keep walking with the 99%, or will you take the harder road, the road of the 1%, the road that leads to everything you've ever dreamed of? Because the difference between average and extraordinary is simple. Do what the 99% are not doing. Most people in this world live inside a pattern that was never designed for greatness. They wake up every morning not with excitement, not with passion, but with a weight on their chest, repeating the same routines, following the same cycle, just like everyone else around them. They don't question it. They don't challenge it. They simply accept that this is life. That is why the majority, the 99%, remain stuck in mediocrity. They are trapped in a system that teaches them to think small, act small, and settle for less. If you want to build a life worth living, you cannot live like the crowd. You have to break free. Breaking free from the crowd means refusing to be another copy of everyone else. It means questioning the path that most people blindly follow. Think about it. If most people are spending hours glued to their phone, wasting time scrolling, gossiping, or complaining, what happens if you decide to do something different? What happens if instead of wasting your energy on distractions, you spend those hours learning a skill, training your mind, building your vision? Over time, the difference becomes massive. That small choice to step away from what everyone else is doing becomes the foundation for a completely different life. The crowd will always try to convince you to stay where they are. The moment you decide to take a different path, people will laugh, they will question you, they will call you crazy. Why? Because your decision to grow exposes their decision to stay small. Your courage to walk away from the crowd is a mirror that shows them their own fear. And most people don't like mirrors. They don't want to face the truth about themselves. That's why breaking free from the crowd requires strength. It requires the ability to stand alone when the majority is moving in the opposite direction. Think about it. Every great innovator, every leader, every success story you admire had to do something the majority wasn't willing to do. They had to be misunderstood. They had to be doubted. They had to stand alone in their vision before the world could see what they were building. If they had followed the crowd, they would have ended up with the same life as the crowd. That's the simple truth. If you do what the 99% are doing, you will get what the 99% have. If you want something greater, you must walk differently. Breaking free doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It means you've decided to stop settling for less than what you're capable of. It means you've chosen to stop being a follower and start being a creator. Most people live in a cycle of reaction. They react to circumstances, they react to problems, they react to life. But the 1%, they live in creation. They create opportunities, they create solutions, they create a future that others can only dream about. So how do you break free? It starts with small daily decisions. Wake up earlier than the world. Work when others are resting. Learn when others are wasting time. Stay focused when everyone else is distracted. You don't need to make a loud announcement. You don't need to tell the world what you're doing. Your results will speak for you. The crowd will watch in confusion at first, but eventually they will understand you chose a different road, and that road created a different life. Breaking free from the crowd is not easy. It's lonely. It's uncomfortable, but it's the only way to reach the life you dream of. Remember this. Comfort keeps you in the 99%. Discipline, sacrifice, and courage put you in the 1%. And once you experience the freedom of living outside the crowd, you will never want to go back. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck comes down to one simple choice: comfort or discipline. Most people will always choose comfort. They want the soft bed, the easy road, the shortcut that doesn't require pain. They tell themselves, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll try when I feel ready. But the truth is, tomorrow never comes for the 99%. They keep waiting for the perfect moment, and while they wait, life passes them by. That's why discipline is the weapon of the 1%. It is the habit that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it steals your future. Think about it. Sleeping an extra 2 hours feels good now, but it robs you of progress. Scrolling on your phone feels good now, but it wastes the energy you could have spent building your dream. Choosing the easy meal, skipping the workout, ignoring the book you promised yourself you'd read. All of these choices feel good for a second, but they leave you in the same place year after year. Comfort is a trap that disguises itself as pleasure, but in reality it is chains holding you back. Discipline, on the other hand, rarely feels good in the beginning. Waking up before the sun, forcing yourself to study when you're tired, pushing through the workout when your body wants to quit. That doesn't feel comfortable, but here's a secret. The pain of discipline is temporary, while the pain of regret lasts forever. The discomfort you feel when you discipline yourself is the seed of a better life. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are proving to yourself that your vision matters more than your excuses. The 99% live their life ruled by feeling. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel lazy, they quit. If they don't feel motivated, they wait. But the 1% live by principles, not feeling. They understand that discipline is not about how you feel. It's about what you decide. Motivation fades, but discipline keeps you moving when motivation is gone. That's why those who master discipline achieve what the masses can only dream about. Look at every champion, every leader, every person who has built greatness. Their lives were not built on comfort. They were built on discipline. They chose to sacrifice today for tomorrow most people will never experience. While others partied, they practiced. While others wasted time, they studied. While others complained, they kept building. And the result, they became the 1%. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It's the freedom of knowing you are in control of your life. It's the freedom of waking up with confidence because you know you kept your promises to yourself. Comfort may give you pleasure in the moment, but it always takes something from you. Discipline may cost you effort now, but it always pays you back with a future you're proud of. If you want to live differently from the 99%, you must make a decision today. Stop worshiping comfort. Stop letting your feelings dictate your future. Stop practicing discipline, even in the small things. Show up when you don't feel like it. Do the work when no one is watching. Stay committed, even when it's inconvenient. Over time, this discipline becomes your greatest strength. The 99% want shortcuts. The 1% build foundations. The 99% want comfort. The 1% choose discipline. And that one choice makes all the difference. The life you dream about will not be found in what feels easy. It will be found in what requires discipline. So make the choice. Embrace the pain of discipline now, so you can escape the pain of regret later. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd and step into greatness. One of the biggest mistakes people make today is this: they want to show the world what they're doing before they've even done it. They want applause before they built anything. They want recognition before they put in the work. That's why so many people stay stuck. They are too busy seeking attention instead of building results. The 99% talk about their plans, their dreams, their goals, but they rarely follow through. The 1%, they work in silence. They build in focus. They don't need validation. They let their success speak louder than their words. Silence is powerful because it keeps your energy where it belongs. On the work, not the noise. When you work in silence, you remove the pressure of other people's opinions. You stop worrying about whether people believe in you or not. You stop wasting time trying to prove yourself. Instead, you focus on building something real. You put your head down, you grind, you learn, you grow. And while everyone else is distracted by showing off, you are quietly becoming unstoppable. The truth is, noise is a trap. Every time you announce your goals, every time you tell the world what you're going to do, a part of your brain feels like you've already achieved it. You get the dopamine rush of recognition without the reality of results. That's why the 99% love talking more than working. They crave that short burst of validation. But validation won't change your life. Hard work and silence would. Think about the most successful people in history. They weren't broadcasting every step of their journey. They were locked in, focused, consistent, obsessed with the process, not the applause. And when the results came, the world couldn't ignore them. That's the formula. Disappear for a while, work in silence, and reappear with something so powerful that the world has no choice but to notice. Focus is the other half of the equation. Without focus, silence is just isolation. Focus is what turns quiet work into extraordinary results. Focus means you are not distracted by every trend, every opinion, every temptation to quit. It means your eyes stay locked on your vision while others are pulled in 1,000 directions. The 99% scatter their energy. They start something today, abandon it tomorrow, jump to the next thing next week. The 1% focus on one thing long enough to master it, long enough to build something unshakable. When you work in silence and build in focus, you develop an inner strength that the noise of the world can't touch. You stop needing people to clap for you. You stop caring about who's watching. You begin to understand that your results are your voice. Every hour you spend focused, every sacrifice you make in silence is an investment in the version of yourself you're becoming. And here's the beauty. When you finally show the world what you built, it speaks louder than any announcement ever could. People won't just see your effort, they'll see your transformation. They'll see the discipline, the consistency, the focus that made you different. And at that point, you don't need to say a word. Your success tells the story for you. So stop wasting your energy on proving yourself. Stop announcing every little step. Stop needing attention to feel worthy. Put your head down. Work in silence. Build in focus. And when the time is right, let your results be so undeniable that the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to respect you. That is the mindset of the 1%. That is how you rise above the 99%. Every day you are faced with two choices, grow or stay distracted. And most people, the 99%, choose distraction without even realizing it. They spend hours scrolling through feeds, watching other people live their lives, gossiping about things that don't matter, chasing temporary pleasures that vanish as fast as they arrive. That's why their life never changes, because they give their time and energy to things that don't build them. But if you want to rise above, if you want to step into the 1%, you have to make a different choice. You have to choose growth over distractions. Distractions are dangerous because they feel harmless.
5 minutes on your phone turns into an hour.
One episode becomes 5. A little gossip becomes a habit of negativity. And while it doesn't feel like much in the moment, those hours, those days, those years add up. Before you know it, you wasted a decade giving your energy to things that did nothing for your future. That's the trap the 99% fall into. They trade their potential for pleasure. Growth is the opposite. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth requires effort. It means reading when you rather scroll, practicing when you rather relax, investing in yourself when others are wasting their money. Growth is not exciting in the beginning. It's often slow, lonely, and unnoticed. But every page you read, every skill you practice, every habit you strengthen, it compounds. And one day what felt small turns into something massive. Growth builds you, distractions drain you. The reason most people avoid growth is because it doesn't give them instant gratification. Distractions reward you instantly. A laugh, a like, a moment of escape. Growth requires patience. You may not see the result right away, but here's the truth. The things that matter most in life are built slowly. Success, character, wisdom, mastery. They are not given overnight, they are earned over time. That's why the 1% are willing to invest in growth, even when it feels boring or invisible, while the 99% keep chasing the next distraction. Choosing growth also means protecting your environment. Look around at who you spend time with. Are they helping you grow or are they keeping you distracted? The people around you matter because energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with dreamers, doers, and builders, you'll rise with them. But if you surround yourself with people who waste time, complain, and live distracted, you'll slowly become like them. Choosing growth means choosing wisely who and what gets your attention. Understand this, every distraction is stealing from your future. Every wasted hour is an hour you'll wish you had back when it's time to chase your dreams. Every moment you trade growth for distraction, you are delaying the life you want. But the opposite is also true. Every time you choose growth, you're investing in your future self. You're stacking small wins that will compound into a life most people will never touch. So the question becomes simple. Do you want to live like the 99%, drowning in distractions, watching their life pass them by? Or do you want to rise into the 1%, choosing growth even when it's hard, even when nobody notices, even when it feels lonely? Because one day the distractions will fade, but the growth you invested in will remain. When you make growth your daily choice, something incredible happens. You become unstoppable. The world starts to open up for you, not because it got easier, but because you got stronger. And that strength only comes from doing what the 99% are not willing to do, choosing growth over distractions. Most people are waiting for an opportunity. They're waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to notice them, waiting for life to hand them a chance. That's the mindset of the 99%. They live in hope, not in action. They believe opportunity is something that magically appears, something given by luck, something controlled by others. And because they're waiting, they stay stuck. But the 1% don't wait. The 1% create opportunities. They take what little they have and build something out of it. They don't ask for permission. They don't wait for luck. They make their own doors when none exists. Opportunity is not something you stumble upon. It's something you prepare for, something you create through discipline, vision, and consistent effort. Most people think success is about luck, but luck is nothing more than preparation meeting the right moment. If you're not prepared, you can't take advantage of opportunity, even if it stands right in front of you. That's why the 99% miss out, because they're not ready. The 1% live ready. They stay disciplined. They stay focused. They keep building even when it looks like nothing is happening. And then when the moment comes, they are ready to seize it. Creating opportunity means seeing possibility where others see limitation. The 99% see obstacles and stop. The 1% see obstacles and ask, how do I turn this into something valuable? That mindset shift is everything. When others see a closed door, the 1% build another way in. When others see rejection, the 1% see redirection. When others see failure, the 1% see a lesson that prepares them for the next move. That's why opportunity seems to follow them. It's not chance, it's perspective.
You don't need to wait for someone to choose you. Choose yourself. If the job isn't hiring, create your own work. If the world isn't giving you a platform, build one. If no one believes in you, prove them wrong by believing in yourself so deeply that nothing can stop you. The 99% complain about what they don't have. The 1% take what they do have, time, skills, effort, vision, and multiply it. That's how opportunity is born. Think about it. Every breakthrough you admire, every innovator, every leader, they didn't wait for permission. They didn't sit around hoping someone would hand them success. They created it. They took risks, they worked relentlessly, and they trusted that their effort would open doors. And it always does. Because opportunity doesn't come to those who sit, it comes to those who move. When you live like the 1%, you understand that creating opportunity is not about what the world gives you, but about what you give to the world. It's about serving, solving problems, bringing value, building something people need. When you focus on contribution instead of consumption, doors start opening everywhere. People notice value. They notice solution. They notice those who create instead of complain. Being the 1% means taking full responsibility for your future. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting. If you don't have what you need, you build it. If you don't know something, you learn it. If you fail, you get back up stronger. Every step, every choice, every sacrifice is a brick in the foundation of the opportunity you're creating. And the more bricks you lay, the stronger your future becomes. So stop waiting. Stop hoping life will hand you something. Stop living like the 99% who sit and complain about what they don't have. Step into the 1% and start creating. Build your skills, sharpen your mind, strengthen your discipline, and keep moving forward no matter what. Because the truth is simple. Opportunities don't just happen. They're created by those who are willing to do what the 99% are not doing.